Welcome to the Valley to Peak Nutrition Podcast. This is going to be a little abnormal than what you're used to, mostly because it will be short and short-winded from me. But this seems to be the method that people get the most information from us through. Seems like people really enjoy the podcast. And as a side note, we are so grateful for that. We're so grateful that you tune in every week. But as such, I figured this would probably be the best method to get some information out to you as opposed to posting it all over social media or trying to push it in a newsletter or send you a bunch of emails. And so that is why this one is short, just to give you a couple of quick updates. The very first update is on our Dehydrate guide. We put out version 1 of the Dehydrate guide almost 2 years ago, and I thought that I thought it would do okay. I thought a few people might download it that would be interested, but it's done far better than I think I ever had anticipated. And so, we were really grateful for that. I was really excited about it when we first put it out. And then last fall, it was actually last December, December the 5th, that someone had emailed me and said, "Hey, is it possible that the version that I got is a pre-production or a pre-publication version?" And this person went on to mention, some repetitive sections and some typos and some errors and some formatting issues. And, I went on to explain sort of embarrassingly that no, that wasn't pre-publication. And I wasn't aware that all of those things exist. So I went back through, told this person I'd do an edit, went back through, and sure enough, he was 100% right. And so that very day, I started putting together version 2 and correcting all of those errors with the idea of this. And this is one of the announcements, that when it was finally completed and it was at a place that I felt like I was happy with it, proud of it, was good work, that anyone who downloaded version 1 would get a copy of this for free. And so that is what I'm doing. It is finally finished. I edited everything. We sent it over to the person that we work with who does all of the formatting, because that is not my wheelhouse. And they formatted it, put some pictures in. There is new information in there. It's finally finished. And so this week, you should see an email, if it's not already in there, that gives you access. If you've already purchased the first version of the guide, it gives you access to this second edition completely free. So you should be able to just download that straight from the email. There shouldn't be any codes required or anything like that. So hopefully that is helpful to you. In version 2, in addition to, I went back through and not only corrected those errors that were in there the first time, but it was a great opportunity to update a couple of sections, add some new information in there. We put more recipes in there. We put more details in the recipes. So if you are brand new to dehydrating, you kind of have an idea of what to look for when it's done. That seems to be like one of the bigger questions as to, okay, how do I know when it's done? Should it be like this texture or another texture? So we tried to sort of guide that a little bit, as well as, like I said, adding some more recipes in there. You'll also find that I updated the nutrition section of the guide as well. And so there's obviously all the information about dehydrating, but given my profession and passion, I couldn't help but also include some sort of guidance and structure for people who get the guide as to how to plan a decent intake when you are in the backcountry to make sure that you're getting enough fuel. And so there are sections in there about how to estimate your calorie needs, how to use our calculator that we have, how to use the macros. All of that stuff is updated in version 2, and you will find that in there. So from me is a deep apology if you've downloaded version 1, looked at it and thought, God, what is this? But you never said anything to me. We are giving you version 2 for free. Again, that should be in your inbox, and you should, if you don't see it in there, check your spam folder. And that kind of goes, for some reason, a lot of our stuff seems to get filtered towards spam. So if you haven't been getting the newsletters and you signed up for those, you probably have a monstrosity of a gift waiting for you in your spam for all of our past newsletter. So that is there. If you have any questions, you don't see it, whatever, reach out to me. We will make sure that you get a copy of that. And if you are just now learning about this and you want to download it, there's a link in the show notes to go to the website and look at that and download it if you're interested. But I feel confident that you're going to get a great version of a dehydrating guide if you are looking to get into that and stop paying the insane prices of prepackaged meals. Second to that, we've never really mentioned it. We also have on our website the new backcountry nutrition course that we developed. This goes over everything you need to know from the very beginning of how to plan how much you actually need on some of these trips, to the very end as far as packaging it, putting it together, and making sure that you feel like you've got some structure going into a trip. So it's broken down into 5 short videos that give you an idea on how much fuel you're going to need, how to determine where those fueling needs should be shifted or allocated towards carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. It gives you examples. It gives you planning resources that you can download as well. It'll give you hydration goals. It'll walk through electrolytes. It will literally take you from ground zero to helping you get some sort of an idea behind what you should be taking on these trips. Now, with all of our courses and basically any of the material that you purchase from us, you get lifetime access. So you can keep coming back for refreshers every spring. Whenever you start thinking about getting outside, you don't have to pay for it every time. It's lifetime access and for you. Finally, we also have our podcast and free resources section on the website. Now, the podcast is housed on the website as well for this very reason. You can go in there, you can search anything that you want, whether it's a topic or a past guest that we've had or whatever, and it will pull up the resources and websites that are relevant to that topic, that episode, or whatever. And the reason I mention that to you is, number one, the podcast itself, the content in there almost always has something you can take away, apply, and go use. That is the entire thing that I am thinking about whenever I record these, is how can we give someone who listens to this some little nugget that they can go apply if they're interested. And so you have the content that is lives in and of itself within the episodes. But I also know that I hear that from other podcasts. I'm like, that sounds great, but I don't have time to go back and listen to that whole thing. So there is also downloads within the show notes of those episodes for any resources, whether most of them are free. Some are very inexpensive, and I can't think of any that are expensive. So those all live in our website as well. So we have tried over the years to create to be a trusted source of nutrition, but to also create resources that are very, very easily accessible at any price point, right? From $0, some of our guide sheets and even the dehydrating guides, $10, and then all of our courses are $99, and those again are lifetime access. So those are all on there. This was not intended to be a sales pitch. This was just to remind you all about the Dehydrated guide, but I also realized we'd not really mentioned the backcountry course, and that could be helpful to some people. And then also all of the free resources that live on the website as well. So thank you all for being such great support for us and supporting us, listening to the podcast and downloading the guides. I am sorry that the first one was subpar, so you're getting that for free. And again, if anyone is interested in the topic, I think you're going to get a really great version now. So have a great week. We will be back again shortly with our second edition, or our second installment, whatever word you want to use here, of our rim to rim attempt in the Grand Canyon. And this one will be with Mark and I, and we will dive a little deeper into the details that a lot of you guys like, as far as what we took for food, the play-by-play per day. We both had different experiences. I think the thing that's probably going to be the most helpful to a lot of people is we both trained similarly. We both trained less than we have in previous years. We both felt better than we have in previous years. And we talk about why we will probably never invest the same amount of time that we used to in training for these. And so that will all be in version 2 coming up short. Have a great week, everybody. Thanks again for the support. We'll talk to you soon.